Welcome to today's lesson on crude oil and petrochemicals. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain what crude oil and petrochemicals are, describe the process of refining crude oil, state the uses of crude oil and petrochemicals, state the importance of crude oil to Nigeria. Now, let's get started. Our dear country, Nigeria, is one of the largest producers of crude oil in Africa. You might have heard that crude oil is our major source of revenue. So, what is crude oil? Crude oil is a naturally occurring unrefined petroleum product composed of hydrocarbon deposits and other organic materials. It can be refined to produce usable products such as gasoline, diesel, and various forms of petrochemicals. Crude oil is a non-renewable energy resource and therefore a limited resource. Now, what are petrochemicals? Petrochemicals, also called petroleum distillates, are chemical products derived from petroleum or natural gas. Some examples of petrochemicals are ethylene and benzene. Crude oil or petroleum can be refined to get many byproducts such as petrol, diesel, jet fuel, kerosene, and many others. These byproducts of crude oil are obtained through the process of refining. The processes involved in the refining of crude oil are 1. Distillation. 2. Cracking. 3. Treating, that is, removing impurities. 4. Reforming. 5. Product testing. Distillation. Modern distillation involves pumping oil through pipes in hot furnaces and separating light hydrocarbon molecules from heavy ones in downstream distillation towers. Cracking. At this stage, the processing plants literally crack large, heavy molecules into smaller, lighter ones using heat and catalysts. Treating. The products from crude units and the feeds to other units contain some natural impurities such as sulfur and nitrogen. Using a process called hydrotreating, these impurities are removed to reduce air pollution when our fuels are used. Reforming. In the reforming process, hydrocarbon molecules are reformed into high-octane gasoline components. For example, methyl cyclohexane is reformed into toluene. Product testing. This process involves blending and quality control of all petroleum products. I'm sure with what you've learned so far, you can guess that crude oil and petrochemicals are important in today's world. However, let's take a look at some importance of crude oil and petrochemicals. Most of the crude oil is used to obtain petrol, diesel, heating oil, jet fuel, and liquefied petroleum gases. Petrochemicals are used to produce a wide variety of materials such as plastics, fertilizers, and synthetic fibers. The petroleum industry creates jobs, and it is a major source of revenue for Nigeria. Now this brings us to the end of the lesson. Today, we learned the meaning of crude oil and petrochemicals and the processes of refining crude oil. We also learned some importance of crude oil to us individually and Nigeria at large. Hope you enjoyed the lesson today. See you in the next lesson.